Allina Health is proud to support your Loons as the official healthcare provider of Minnesota United. Every day, we provide expert care to keep the team in top form on match day. All across Minnesota and western Wisconsin, you can find the same dedicated providers just a short drive away. It's expert care when and how you need it. Schedule your visit at allinahealth.org today. Allina Health, all together better. Welcome back to another episode of the Sound of the Loons podcast, brought to you by Allina Health. I am your host, Zarek Valentine, and as you can tell, we are on the road. We've had to do a few of these on the road because we've had a lot of games, but we are here with none other than the General, Morris Duggan. Welcome to the show. I took that from WWE.
Oh yeah,
from Gunther, who's I believe he's German. He is the ring general, so we'll call you the field general.
Yeah, watch the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Yeah. Nice. There you go. Welcome to the show, man. First and foremost, let's talk. We're gonna go back into off season. What'd you do this past off season? I know that didn't you take a little bit of vacation or go get somewhere warm?
Actually, I went home to Germany.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, yeah, very warm there.
Yeah. Not really, but I haven't been in like 2 years, so it was great seeing. My family came visit, but seeing my friends, family time, just like a little reset.
That's awesome. Then Munich?
Yes, Munich.
That's awesome. What do you do? You just go hang out with friends? Do you see games? Obviously you're working out and you're keeping fit and stuff, but what's a normal day back home look like for you?
I mean, obviously my wife's coming with me, so I would love to just hang out with my family, with my friends, but we do some activities like we drive to like a lake or something. It was like decent weather there, not like too cold. So obviously the first few days of the off season relaxed, but then you start getting grinding. Yeah, with my old teammates from like my village club, we do like a little indoor session. And stuff
nice.
Like that. So that's always fun seeing them.
So how is your wife's German coming along then? Or how's your family's English? We'll ask both.
No, my family's English is great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the problem too. That's why she's not really forced into learning German, but we started with flashcards now.
Oh, that's great.
We did all the rooms.
Yeah.
So like living room, all that stuff. And now we're getting there, but we just started. So
yeah, when I was learning French, I would do Post-it notes.
Yeah.
And I would put them all around the house, bed, fridge, sink, whatever it was, television. So you could go up and you could see the word. And it was a way in which you could kind of read it and, you write it out phonetically. So it might, whatever that might look like. But that was a way I started to try to learn French at that time to get some of just the sight words, right?
Yeah.
And how is she picking it up? I mean, it's not like it's Spanish. German's a little different.
It's hard, but she's a really good learner. Like once we do the flashcards, she's got them down. It's just, I'm a horrible teacher. So I just can't be asked sometimes, but we're getting there. I mean, she has to learn.
Slowly but surely. So then fast forward, you ripped it up at off season. How was preseason for you coming in fit, strong? Was that something that was, obviously it's a conscious decision to come in ready to go, but how'd you feel coming into preseason back in January?
I mean, I knew it was a big preseason for me. Last year, the situation was kind of up in the air at the end of the year. And I really wanted to play. So I worked hard. But also, this is the first year I really came in and kind of felt like, all right, I got like a little bit of a standing in the team now. It's not like I'm a nobody anymore. And like I have to like really play to like earn my respect. I think I deserve that. From playing last year, so kind of like a different confidence and mentally just to take another step in terms of like really like leadership and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's important to feel that way within a group because you do have to earn the trust of the older players and the guys who've been with the group, and then once you feel that you've earned that trust, then you feel a level of responsibility to maintain that trust, right? Like, oh, they trust me, but now I have to keep showing them why they made the right decision to trust me. Because you came in last year and played, I think you played the first few games, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then obviously, you know, back and forth battling it out, got more minutes as the season went on. Now, you know, stepping into a bigger role. Is that something that scares you, or is it more, this is where I'm supposed to be?
Yeah. So like, that's what I want. Like, it doesn't really scare me at all because that's what I wanted like forever. I mean, growing up, I never really played on high levels. So I was always kind of used to being like a main player and having like a bigger role in the team, same in college. So it was like the opposite once I got drafted, and it was kind of not like that at all. Obviously that's normal in the beginning. That's where it's kind of like scary and like uncomfortable. But I feel like the more I play and the more I'm feeling confident, the better I get, because that just feels natural and obviously good. Like, you have fun playing. Like, you don't have to be like nervous and be like, oh, what do guys think about me? It's just, you can go out and enjoy playing soccer, you know?
And that's part of it, is once you enjoy it and you feel comfortable enough in your own role. And this is what I talk to younger players, and I can see it in you, and I think others can as well, is younger players are so inwardly focused because they're trying to figure out, this is what I have to do for my job. I have to kick the ball this way, head it this way. I need to be so focused. I can't think about anything else. Whereas once you become so confident and comfortable in your own role, then you could start branching out and communicating to others to help them out. Right. Yeah. And I've started to see that. You're speaking Spanish on the field. I got a few of those words, which is great. We've done that. But, you know, when you look at the veterans of the group, they're able to play in their own game, but almost think for the guys next to them. That's why Will helps out Nectar a lot. And obviously you next to Boxy, and now you're talking to, you know, whoever's on your left, whoever's on your right, goalie, sixes. You're kind of growing into this where you feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you are more comfortable and confident in your role. And now you're starting to be like, hey, let me worry about the back line as a whole. Let's worry about the sixes. Am I wrong saying that?
No, it's completely right. It's funny. It's something Will told me like last year. It's now, last year was more like, all right, when I play, just don't mess up. Like, just be solid and do your job, and that's just gain your trust. And now I feel like I've done that, and I like earned the trust. And he always says like, just don't play like not messing up. Just how can you affect the game? Like, play like you can do something, you can provide something. And like, that's kind of the shift this year. It's like, all right, I don't have to play scared or like really careful anymore. Like, now I can go out there and I can, like you said, I can be like a leader, or try do stuff on the ball that I didn't last year, where I feel like I can provide some value for the group. Yeah, that's like a big shift this year, I think.
Yeah, playing to make a play as opposed to not make a mistake is a very different mindset.
Yeah. And
that's understandable though, because as a younger player, I've been there where you're sitting there going, my rookie year, I remember thinking, I don't want to show up on film. Exactly. We did film reviews, and all I could think about was, don't show up on film. Don't make a mistake, because we did every goal. And I was like, and I'd leave the game and I'd be like, I'm not going to be on film. Yeah. Like, job done. Exactly. And that was all I could think about. Then obviously as you get older, it's like, okay, well now I got to talk to the six, and I got to talk to the winger, do this and help these guys out because I'm so good. But my first few years, I did not want to show up on video because we were ruthless back in the day. But, you know, you speak about, you know, conversations with Will, but obviously you're playing next to the longest tenured player in club history in Boxy. And how's that relationship been on and off the pitch, learning from him? You know, take us just into a little bit of how you guys have developed that relationship.
I mean, he's a great guy. He's obviously absolute legend and here in the MLS. And since my first year, every time I was able to stand next to him, he just gives like such confidence. Yeah. And it's just like I said, I can play like really just focusing on myself and like in the beginning, because I know he's next to me. Like, he's got it. Like, he got everything under control. He does his job. I don't have to worry about him. I can just worry about myself. And that really helped me early in my career, like really focus on myself. And yeah, it was kind of like a shock last game. Like, he's so reliable and he's always there. And then when he got subbed out, I was kind of like, what? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Boxy never gets like subbed out. He never gets hurt. So it was kind of crazy. Like, and then when he was out and Devin got in, obviously Devin, I have a great relationship with him, but like then I felt like, all right, now I really got to step up.
You're the guy.
Yeah. And it's just like crazy to feel that way, because when he's there, it just feels more natural kind of. But yeah, he helped me a lot, gives me great advice. And Yeah, he's just a great guy.
Do game day like VIP with Minnesota United premium tickets. From suites to private boxes to the outdoor roof deck experience, Allianz Fields offers a range of luxury seating options that'll make you feel like a pro. Learn more about our special spaces at allianzfield.com. Yeah, I think, obviously it's a great partnership, one of the better ones in the league, in my opinion. And that's non-biased, that's biased a little bit, but I think subjectively, if people want to argue me with that one, I'll gladly argue with anyone. But I think one of the things that he's done is the way he takes care of his body. I mean, obviously he got subbed, but that was because he got poked in the eye.
Yeah,
but regardless, the way he's just kind of managed his body to play such a long time, and the way he's very diligent about things, and he has his own way, but it's so focused and highly regimented that he's able to play till he's 30, whatever. Like, he's still hitting, I think 2 weeks ago, he hit a new top speed that we've recorded, which is crazy. But you have very good habits yourself. You're at the facility very early. Where did you get your professionalism habits from? Was it a combination of players? Was it what works for me? Take us into a little bit of that. I don't want to, give away all your secrets, but, for me, seeing a young player do the right things when no one's watching is what is cool about a lot of what you do. I'm not going to hype you up too much, but you got to keep your ego down a bit. But no, just take us into just some of your habits off the pitch, because it's clearly, doing a lot of right things.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like the older I get, the less like obsessed I get about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like I said, growing up, I never played on a high level. So I remember doing like a first semi-big jump when I was like 17, 18 into like a higher level. And it's just kind of ever since then, I always like leveled up in terms of like, I always was the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, going into that, I feel like I had to prove myself and had to do more. You're like, these players played like these academies, and I come from like nowhere. So then the same when it came to the US, like go to Marshall, there's like, even it's college soccer, but for me back then it was kind of like all these guys played at nice academies in Europe, coming here, and I haven't, so I have to do something extra. And kind of that's just been over the years. When I take those steps, it's kind of like implemented in myself and like playing with a chip on my shoulder. And it's just habits nowadays. And like back then I was more obsessed, like I would with like nutrition and like doing all these extra things. And now that I get older, I realize too, like you don't want to overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's where Boxy is great too. Like, he has it figured out for himself, like what works for him. Yeah. And that's, you can see that like he's got it down to a T, and I'm still trying to figure out like what the best like things for me are, but it's just something that developed.
Yeah, I think with Boxy, I remember my first preseason coming in, and he was doing runs that were not the prescribed runs from the off-season workout. And I looked at him, I said, "Oh, you do the runs?" He goes, "No, I do my own thing." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. You're 30-something. I'm 30-something. I have my routine, right?" Yeah. I didn't do the off-season workout because I knew what worked for me. And I think that's really important, because once you know what works for you, that will change. Obviously, as you get older, that changes. But to be aware that you might need more or less, or you can tinker with it, right? Like, we have this mixing board in front, and sometimes you might need more of something, might need less of something, and that's going to change over time. But the quicker you can get a pulse on that is important. And I think not being neurotic about certain things, like, you still have to live. If you want to have some nachos or, whatever it might be, I think my cheat meal was Five Guys for a while. I had a nice little hamburger. But yeah, I think it's important to have those things and to balance your, the professionalism, because you do need a release at times, right? And I think, you're so dialed in as a person and focused and training's well, but eventually, when you do go home and hang out with your buddies and you go to the lakes and stuff, you play poker with the guys, that's a great way to kind of, take your guard down a bit, and then you can ramp it up, which makes it easier, right? To dial in when you have those,
for sure,
those moments. So then you're sitting here with Boxy and you're growing. Now that we've went through preseason, we've played a few games, what have been your initial thoughts, the first few games of the season, under Coach Cameron Knowles now that Eric Ramsey's gone. What are your first initial thoughts going forward about just the new style of play and the way we're doing things now?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. Like, obviously I love Cam. He's been there since I've been drafted, and he's been a big supporter of mine. So I really appreciate him. Also really like Josh coming in. Like he gives a lot of information.
Yes.
I'd say that. But it's great. Like, I mean, if you can see like going from last year, the way we played, to like now, it's just obviously it's different, and it's more challenging, and obviously there's still areas to improve. Like we're still in the basics of things, but I think you can tell that we have the players to play that way. It wasn't like last year we didn't have the players to play. It was more just like what was working in the moment.
Of course.
And now we're developing, and there's gonna be ups and downs, but I think the first 2 games have been promising. And yeah, it's exciting to play. It's like, as a player, you know that you want to have the ball.
Yeah,
that's what's fun. So I think everyone's kind of excited for that, and I hope as the season goes, we keep developing, and at the end, we're in a good spot, hopefully.
Yeah, I think for me, all of this shows you is the game can be played a variety of different ways, and you can find success in a variety of different ways. Not everyone's the same, but I think it's great that Coach Cam's come in and put his fingerprint on things, and Josh has his style and his information, the way he runs stuff, and you can kind of see flurries of things getting there. And it's been game 2. We've only been together as a group for pretty much 2 full months, right? It's March 5th. So we've been, we're very young and it's very new, but I'm excited because I think knowing the guys that we have, everyone has been yearning for a little bit more information and change. And it's almost it's provided a little bit of a different spark, of ideas and the energy. And would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that partnership between Cam and Josh is so good because they complement each other in a way where Josh is really like methodical and tactical. Obviously Cam can do that too, but Cam also brings that like emotional side that we also had last year with like, we really work hard, and he really like, that's one of his areas, I think personally, where he really thinks that's important. So I think that complement between those 2 areas is like recipe for success.
Yeah, I think it's, I think they describe it, one of the terms that they use is you have piano players and piano carriers. And I think that their styles are contrasting at times, but that's what is the beauty about it, right? You know what I mean? You don't it's good to have coaching staffs. Obviously everyone's aligned ultimately in the way that, we want to play and we want to go about things, but there are certain different styles and techniques. Cam has been shaped through Caleb Porter, through a little bit of Adrian Heath, and now with Eric Ramsey. And then Josh has his way with Greg Berhalter. And, he was a head coach and then under Ben Olsen last year. So coaches are all shaped in a variety of different ways. And then ultimately how they give the information is different. But again, I think that having different styles ultimately is beneficial to a locker room, because I think you can connect with different players and, take things from each other. And I'm already getting a lot of the verbiage that Josh is using. And I've known Cam. I played under Cam when I was in Portland and worked with him last year. So I feel very comfortable, but I'm excited. And I know that a lot of the players and the staff are very excited going forward, which leads us now into a game against Nashville. What do you see against Nashville? I know personally their front 3-4 players is arguably one of the better front 3-4 players in the entire league right now, with Christian Espinoza and Hani Mukhtar and Sam Surridge. So you got some pretty good players. What are you looking forward to in this matchup?
I mean, I'm excited for it. I think, like you said, that front 3 is kind of like when it shaped up in the beginning of the season, it was kind of like, that was going to be a problem. But obviously also in Nashville, they have good crowd, nice stadium. I've never been here before. So
what do you think of the city?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, nice weather right now. Probably gets really hot, but yeah, it's exciting, and it's a new challenge, like facing a striker I never faced before. Obviously, he scored a bunch of goals last year, and he's trying probably to do the same this year. So yeah, different challenge and different way to grow, and yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it should be a great game. I know we say that every time, but especially this first 15 games or 10 games of the season, we have a pretty challenging schedule, I would say. I mean, 4 of our next 5 are away from home, so that's going to be That's going to be difficult, but I'm excited. I always back our guys, and it should be a battle. It's always going to be a tough one here in Nashville. They have a good crowd. Last time I was here, there was Leagues Cup in 2023. DJ took a red card, and I got subbed in, and we ended up losing like 5-0. Oh, that was a tough game. So let's hopefully that doesn't happen again. But lastly, before I let you go here, looking forward to the season. Do you have any personal goals, or what do you hope to get from this season? Whether that's individually or whether it's a team. What are you looking forward to most just here in 2026?
I mean, when we did the interviews in the beginning of the season, I said score my first goal. But
there you go. Now what's the new one? We got a re-goal set. That's always how it is.
I said score my first goal at Allianz, but it's more like kind of shallow. Like,
score your second goal.
Basically. Yeah, I mean, as a team, I want to win a trophy like this year. I think that's like kind of been a big message from the whole staff. Is kind of like we want to win. That's the biggest part. Like no matter how we play, like we want to win. So, I mean, I want to win a trophy this year. That like really bad. Yeah, I think that's my main goal.
Yeah, I've never won one in the professional ranks. I got promoted, but you don't really get a trophy for getting promoted. Yeah. But no, I haven't. And last year, we got pretty close, and we've been close the past few years, but no, I've never won one, never hosted one, never, had an adult beverage out of one. So that's something that, I would love if you guys could help do, because that would be a first for me. But yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. Yeah. But thank you very much, Mr. Morris Duggan, for coming on this week's episode of the Sound of Loons podcast, brought to you by Aligna Health. It's been awesome chatting with you. I don't know if we'll have you back on, but regardless, I enjoyed hearing about your off-season plans, how much you're learning from the veterans in the team, and I'm excited to see you keep growing as a player, man.
I'm excited too. Thank you, Z.
Thank you, buddy.
Pleasure.